Hey guys, this is Eckhart Slaughter. Hello and welcome to something very special, but I guess not totally unexpected, and that is a breakdown of the brand new Star Wars The Bad Batch trailer. Now, I think we all knew this had to be coming sooner rather than later. The Bad Batch comes out in just over a month, May the 4th. So, not surprising we got a trailer today. Now, my setup for today is a little bit different. I'm actually with my daughter, my 4-month-old right now, so maybe you'll hear some cooing or whatever in the background, but I'll kind of just be doing a live reaction. Maybe we'll go over a few times and just, I want to give you guys my thoughts. Kind of like I used to do with my live streams when trailers dropped, but just because I do have a baby right now, it's a lot easier if I can cut things out if necessary. A few things though to mention before we actually go into the breakdown. The first episode, as confirmed by the description, is going to be 70 minutes long. That's on May the 4th, and then we won't have to wait very long because on May 7th, we will also be getting a new episode. Now, there were some rumors that we'd get 2 episodes on Friday, but maybe what people were saying is just 2 on the first week, like we're seeing here. Also, thanks to everyone who liked my comment. Don't read the comments underneath. They're, always a mess. But with that being said, let's get into it. And I'm going to go ahead and full screen it. I'll watch through once and just give my kind of pure reaction to you guys, and then the second time we'll go through and maybe I'll stop and point out some key moments. Of course, we've got Moff Tarkin on Kamino, the Bad Batch training against what I originally thought were the Dark Trooper prototypes, but they're obviously just prototypes of the Imperial security droid. And we know now from Mandalorian Season 2 that the Dark Troopers, the prior versions, were actually people in suits. I think it was the finale that told us that. I'm looking forward to the action scenes. Whether you like the Bad Batch or not, the action scenes, we'll come back to that in a second. The action scenes were really amazing.
Let's go. Hyperdrive's online. Tick, prepping to jump.
Also, it's good to see that Echo will be back. I mean, it was kind of obvious. We'll talk about this when we get back to it. I want to take a look at Echo because he's messed up by this point. I love those transport shuttles.
The galaxy's a dangerous place to be.
Fennec Shand, of course, just further confirmation that it is her.
What do you say, kid? You want to come with us?
How can I help?
The Clone Wars have ended.
Rex. Very obviously Rex.
You can either adapt and survive, or die with the past. The decision is yours.
That's obviously Saw. Kind of Saw between Rebels and Clone Wars with a bit of a beard. Security droids. I think those are those Zygerrian slavers. That's like the whip they had there. But okay. Interesting. Let's go back to the beginning and kind of give a breakdown of things that I thought were interesting. So obviously Kamino. I'll be interested to see. So the real question is, when it comes to the Bad Batch, what happened to them? Why are they leaving the Empire? Did they participate in Order 66? What's going on? And right now, I'm not sure. I wouldn't be surprised if the first episode contained an Order 66 scene. I think the really cool thing with starting a movie out is, we're starting basically like the Clone Wars did with a almost feature-length movie, and they're going to be able to pack a lot of story in there, and then kind of, I imagine we'll see sort of the fall of the Bad Batch, them leaving the Empire, what happened during Order 66, all of that in the last episode. It might even tie in really nicely with some of the final scenes we got in Clone Wars Season 7. But another thing about Star Wars canon compared to Legends is that Clone Troopers did not stay on for very long after the Clone Wars. They were replaced within a couple of years. So whether something the Bad Batch does now has to do with that, maybe they leave because they don't like stormtroopers being replaced, or stormtroopers replacing clone troopers, or they don't like the atrocities that they're being expected to commit. I guess we'll see. But this looks like the exact same course that we see from the Kamino training arc from the Clone Wars. I gotta say too, the animation, as expected, is just absolutely phenomenal.
Yet they exhibit a concerning level of disobedience in disregard for all.
So yeah, the combat scenes in this are going to be good. especially like with the focus on a small squad taking on large enemies, kind of like we get in this scene, with each clone kind of having distinct personalities. It's gonna be cool. Some V-Wings. I don't think we've actually seen V-Wings in the Clone Wars to this point.
Squad's nothing but trouble.
I'm not actually sure which planet this is.
But we get the job done.
So yeah, my guess would be that this is kind of near the beginning, where it starts with kind of mop-ups of the CIS and kind of the last maybe day or two of the Clone Wars, kind of like in Season 7, then maybe there's an Order 66 scene, and we get the transition into the Empire. It could also be something like the Outer Rim sieges after the Clone Wars, which is something that Star Wars Legends did. I don't really think they called it the Outer Rim sieges. It was, I think, the Outer Rim campaigns, where basically the Empire now is just finishing off these small CIS remnants that weren't finished off by the shutdown switch. Who's I don't know, looks like he's maybe got something on his shoulder there, but not sure.
You'll climb fourth night.
All right, so this is interesting. This clearly, so this is, I can't remember this character's name. It's actually in the subtitles of the show. Omega is her name. So it seems like she is some sort of clone, perhaps. She's obviously on Kamino. She's got some kind of Kamino-looking jewelry here. She's got, an outfit that looks like it could be Kaminoan as well. And yeah, so whether she's kind of a new strain of clones or, some sort of genetic alteration of the original Jango Fett DNA, it's hard to say. But it seems like she's got a pretty important role on Kamino, and she's, of course, going to be hanging together with the Bad Batch. So Echo looks in rough shape. For those who didn't watch Season 7, Echo is, the Echo who you know from the Clone Wars. If you know who Echo is, you probably watched Season 7. But, of course, he was being messed around with by the CIS, and he's, in really rough shape. And originally, the story scripts for Season 7 and the unfinished episodes had a different conclusion for him, which we didn't get in the actual Season 7, which was kind of a hint that we were going to get something like the Bad Batch. So I'm really excited to see where his journey takes him, especially as he encounters some of his former clones, perhaps, but now fully Imperial.
Know who we are.
Yeah. Again, beautiful animation.
Hunter?
Let's go.
She knows all the Bad Batch.
Hyperdrive's online.
This is a brief kind of overview of the characters, too.
Ricker?
Wrecker, I like him. That looks like it might be the engine on an old Venator. Yep, definitely the engine of an old Venator. You can see the bridge there, so that's kind of cool.
And Crosshair?
So a lot of people have pointed out, too, that Crosshair is missing from some of the group shots in the trailer. And he definitely does have a bit of a different attitude than the other clones, so there's a lot of speculation that he might in fact leave, or he might not go with the clones when they leave, or he might die. So it'd be interesting to see how that works out. I think it would be cool if a member of the Bad Batch did decide to stay with the Empire and help them hunt the Bad Batch down.
I want Clone Force 99 found and wiped out.
Tarkin looks good.
The galaxy's a
He's got some funny pants on.
dangerous place to be.
Fennec Shand, I love the Mandalorian tie-in.
Get out of here.
Like, I think in this scene right here, if you look, I don't think he's with them. Yeah. No, he's not.
What do you say, kid? You want to come with us?
Crosshair's gone.
The Clone
And
Wars.
of course, let's take a look at Captain Rex.
The Clone Wars have ended.
She's got what looks like a Dathomirian light bow, like the Night Sisters use, which is cool.
Adapt and survive.
So it looks here like the kind of newly formed Empire. Let's see if we can get a closer look at these regular clone troopers. I don't know if they're wearing normal phase 2 or if they've already swapped a bit to the Empire, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is the Empire coming to like totally subjugate a planet and Clone Force 99 is not cool with it. I mean, we see Saw Gerrera here, so maybe that's what joins them to leading, or what leads them to joining the Rebels.
Is yours. We do what we do. Strap in, kid.
Some people have said that this is the, I forget the name of it, the CIS Parliament world. Sorry, I missed it.
The decision is yours. We do what we do. Strap
There we go.
kid.
She likes it. All in all, though, this is a really great trailer. I'm super excited for this show. I mean, if we look at it's nice to see positive like and dislike ratio on a Star Wars video as well. But I do think, like I've said, that this is going to sort of be like a just continuation of what we got with the Clone Wars. Like this is going to be, I think, the ongoing series that does kind of step in as a continual thing, like a series with many seasons that will sort of be a constant presence, like the Clone Wars and like Rebels were. And I'm really excited because this does look like it's going into an interesting post Clone Wars early Empire period, which of course we have visited before, but will be nice to revisit. And it will also be cool to see like the early stages of the Clone Wars, how things work with Saw Gerrera and the early Rebel cells. All in all, though, I'm really excited for this series. I think it's going to be great personally. But let me know your guys' thought. This is just a really brief overview of the trailer. My reaction is, are you excited for Bad Batch? Do you think it's going to be great like I do? Let me know all of that and more down in the comments. Thanks again for joining me. Sorry, audio and presentation was a little bit weird today, but I hope you enjoyed this video nonetheless. Till next time, be safe, have a good one, and may the Force be with you.